The following program is a West Tennessee PBS special presentation made possible through the generous financial support of viewers like you. Please visit westtnpbs.org and make a donation today so that we can continue to make local programs like this possible. Thank you.
In this edition of Channel 11 Checkup, we're talking about alcohol use, when social drinking can cross the line into a health risk, and how family, friends, and experts can help. We also have some eye-opening health news. Scientists have found microplastics deep inside cancer tumors, raising new questions about environmental risk and human health. And with spring underway, we'll hear from Keep Tennessee Beautiful to learn how we can help clean up our communities. Channel 11 Checkup starts right now.
From your health to your kids' health, from senior care to family wellness, from what's on your plate to how you live every day. This is Channel 11 Checkup with Ginger Rousey from Madison County Health.
Hi, I'm Ginger Rousey. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Channel 11 Checkup. We have a lot to get to today, but first, here are some health headlines. Researchers have detected microplastics deep inside prostate cancer tumors, raising new public health concerns. In a small study of 10 men presented at the American Society of Clinical Oncology's Cancer Symposium, microplastics were found in 90% of tumor samples and at levels 2.5 times higher than in non-cancerous tissue. Experts caution the study does not prove cause and effect, but scientists say the findings are concerning and warrant further investigation. With 1 in 8 U.S. men diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, researchers say understanding how widespread environmental pollutants like microplastics may impact human health is an urgent next step. In other news, scientists may have found a way to identify Alzheimer's risk up to a decade before symptoms appear. A new study led by Vanderbilt Health analyzed millions of electronic health records and pinpointed more than 70 medical conditions that could signal future Alzheimer's. These conditions fall into 4 broad categories: mental health issues, sleep and neurological disorders, cardiovascular and circulatory problems, and endocrine or metabolic conditions like type 2 diabetes. Researchers say spotting these patterns early could allow interventions that delay the disease's onset, potentially cutting incidence rates in half. While the findings don't prove cause and effect, experts say tracking these health conditions offers a roadmap for earlier risk recognition, prevention, and improved patient outcomes. And finally, April is recognized as National Stress Awareness Month, shining a light on the real impact stress can have on our health. Stress is the body's reaction to feeling overwhelmed or threatened, and over time, it can affect both mental and physical health, contributing to headaches, stomach problems, high blood pressure, even heart disease. The good news? Healthy coping makes a difference. Eat well, get enough sleep, exercise, talk with someone you trust, and recognize what you can't control. Then focus on how you respond. Managing stress isn't just about getting through today, it's about protecting your long-term health. Many people enjoy a drink socially from time to time, but how do we know when casual drinking crosses the line into a health risk? Today on the show, we're talking with Nolan Lee, a licensed alcohol and drug abuse counselor from JACOA, an organization that provides treatment and support for individuals and families affected by substance abuse. Nolan, thank you so much for being here. I know this is a very important topic, one that's important to you too. So just in simple terms, just to get started, how would you define social drinking?
Well, in simple terms, social drinking is something that's done occasionally. Mm-hmm. It's usually in a social setting. And it doesn't negatively impact a person's responsibilities, relationships, or health. Mm-hmm. It's something that someone chooses to do versus more of a
need that they have to
right.
do or has that feeling.
Right.
So what are some early signs maybe that it's turning into something a little more risky?
Some early signs start showing up when that choice becomes or feels more of a necessity, like you said. And for example, using it to cope with stress, or drinking alone more often, or needing more alcohol to get the same effect than you once did, or noticing maybe some negative consequences like arguments missed obligations or legal trouble. It's less about how often someone drinks as to what happens when someone drinks.
And how often you're having some negative outcomes from what's supposed to be a fun thing. So what are some of the more common physical and mental health effects you see when someone moves beyond casual drinking into something riskier?
Well, when someone moves beyond casual drinking, you have both physical and mental effects. The physical could look like sleep problems, high blood pressure, weight changes, digestive issues, increased tolerance, which means, like I said earlier, they need more to get the same effect. And over time, it can progress into serious illnesses like with liver issues and other health consequences. I think it's important to note that alcohol is the only drug that affects every organ of our bodies. Now, mentally and emotionally, we see increased anxiety, depression, irritability, difficulty concentrating. A lot of people don't realize, but alcohol can actually worsen the stress and anxiety that they're attempting to alleviate.
Yeah. And it's funny, in our culture, drinking is often normalized. We sing about it and we joke about it and all this, but what would you say are some common misconceptions people have about what constitutes risky drinking?
I would say one misconception is that everyone around you drinking the same way. It doesn't always have to be safe, or it's not always safe, even though everybody's doing it, right?
Yeah.
Normalization doesn't equal harmlessness.
Yeah.
And then another misconception is that just because drinking every day, it's not a problem, right? Like you can drink only on weekends. It's the consequences that come along with that drinking where it becomes problematic.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the thing too. Like I don't drink all the time. I just do it now, on the weekends or at a special event. But that can still be just as much of a problem as the other, drinking every day.
Right.
So like you said, it's not as how many often you're doing it, it's how much and the negative consequences that are coming up.
Right.
So if someone realizes they might be at risk, what's the best first step they can take?
I would say the best first option is just simply talk about it. You can call a treatment center and ask questions or talk to a counselor or your primary care provider, just someone that's a safe person that's informed as well. And when you call and ask these questions at the treatment center, you don't have to make any kind of commitment. It's just being informed.
Yeah, and being honest when you have that conversation, I guess.
Right.
What about friends and family members who may be recognizing some signs of trouble in others? I guess this is where it can get tricky. What can friends and family members do?
I would say the best approach is to just have concern, not accusation. It's easy to say you have a problem, but maybe try saying, I've noticed some concerns with you, and let's talk about that. Keep the focus on the behaviors and the impact, not the labels.
Sure.
And then shame pushes people away, but support opens the door and kind of invites them in.
What about those who are hesitant to seek help as friends and family? What can someone do for those that, maybe I do have a problem, but I think I can do it on my own? Right.
I think one of the most important things is for the loved ones is just to stay consistent and calm. You can't force somebody into readiness, and it's often a process. It doesn't happen in a single moment,
Absolutely. We talked that you worked at Checkup. Tell us a little bit about the services Checkup offers, maybe specifically for alcohol abuse.
Checkup offers a full continuum of care for individuals struggling with alcoholism or even drug abuse. And that consists of social detox, residential treatment, intensive outpatient services, aftercare, sober living housing.
Okay.
We serve individuals across the whole state of Tennessee, and we work closely with courts and healthcare providers and their families as well.
So what do you wish more people understood about alcohol misuse?
I wish more people understood that alcohol misuse, it doesn't always look extreme, okay? You can look very successful and have a problem with alcohol. It often starts subtly, like as stress relief or as routine or something that feels normal. And by the time the consequences show up, it's already built pretty strongly. And I also wish that people didn't see it as a punishment or as shameful. It's about your health, and recovery is about learning, new coping skills and rebuilding relationships and restoring stability to your life. And most importantly, we do recover. People do recover, and I see it every day. And with the right support and accountability, change is absolutely possible.
Yeah. It takes a lot of bravery to make that first step.
It does.
It can really make a difference. Nolan, we appreciate you being here and sharing this information, a lot of good information. Hopefully people got something out of it. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
In April, we recognize STI Awareness Week, a national campaign focused on education, testing, treatment, and reducing the stigma surrounding sexually transmitted infections. Sexually transmitted infections remain among the most common infectious diseases in the United States, with millions of new cases reported each year. To put it in perspective, in some years, new STI infections surpass the number of flu cases. In Memphis, the message carries added urgency. The city continues to report one of the highest HIV rates in the nation, making prevention and early diagnosis especially critical. To address common misconceptions about HIV, here's Dr. Dimitri Daskalakis with the CDC.
As an HIV doctor, here's some things that people get wrong about HIV. Number one, so it's false. You cannot get HIV from everyday items or casual contact. You can't get it by sharing utensils. You can't get it from sharing a glass. All of that is false. Number two, remember, U equals U. Undetectable is equal to untransmittable. So if you have a partner who is living with HIV and who is taking their medicines and their viral load is undetectable, they can't pass HIV. Let me say it again. People whose viral load is undetectable cannot transmit to their sexual partners. Number three, so you may see ads that say that you can take medicines that will cure HIV. That is false. Do not believe the hype. The best way to control your HIV is by taking antiretroviral medications. Those are medicines prescribed by a medical provider. Anything else that you're hearing is false. Number four, it's not quantity, it's just if there's an exposure, if you have sex with someone who has HIV who may not know their status or whose viral load is detectable, you can get HIV from just one encounter. It's not about multiple partners, it's about a plan for any partner. Number five, HIV can be asymptomatic for a very long time. You don't want to wait for symptoms because that means that HIV potentially has really progressed, which means that you may have later stage infection. Testing is the way to find out if you have HIV, and the earlier you know, the better it is for your health.
In April, we celebrate National Public Health Week, a time to recognize the people working every day to protect and improve our community's health, often behind the scenes. From preventing disease to preparing for emergencies, public health touches nearly every part of our lives. Today, we're joined by Shanna Wilbanks, who is marking her first year as Regional Director of Madison County Health. And Shanna, we're so glad you're here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thinking back over your first year, what have you learned? What have you seen? What has surprised you?
How fast it went.
Really?
But that's just life nowadays too.
Oh, sure.
I think it's with anybody. But I guess the most surprising thing was how multifaceted it is, which I've been in public health 23 years, and you think you've seen it all, know it all, but once you delve into every program, along with community leaders and state, federal partners, there's a lot to it, and there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And even if you think you know it, there's still more to learn usually.
And it's always changing, I guess.
Always changing, and that's what. I'm a very consistent person. I stay at the same job, but that's probably been my hardest thing to get used to is the uncertainty of so many things.
So that's a big challenge. What about something that's been rewarding for you over this past year?
Probably working with so many different leaders. We have some great community partners across the state, here in Madison County, at West Region, Memphis, and even neighboring partners to the, state partners to the north and the south. And so that's been really rewarding. Also, I guess the highlight to me was speaking to Leadership Jackson that was awesome. Being able to share what we do and what we're passionate about with all of our leaders in Jackson, the upcoming leaders and the ones that already are. So that's been fun.
We talk a lot about public health, and have you found that maybe people are unsure of what exactly that term encompasses? What does that mean when we say public health?
I think it's hard, yeah. I think it depends on kind of what stage in your life you're in as well. Because, take for instance me, had no clue what we did really with septic systems, sewer systems until I built a home. And then it's like, ooh, we really do a lot. You know, we help out a lot.
Yes.
I think people after COVID too, they just realized kind of what all we touch within our community and the country and the world, really. With kids, they know immunizations and WIC and that type of thing, and adult health, travel vaccine and our communicable disease clinic. But environmental's big too. I mean, we're the ones out there inspecting the restaurants and checking the pools and, doing the things that if we do a good job, you usually don't hear about us.
So based on what you see every day, what would you say are the biggest health challenges facing our region today?
Right now, what's on my mind is the increase in syphilis. It's very scary times right now. That with pregnant women, as well as just the incidence of syphilis across the board. Also, vaccination rates. It scares me.
I'm still continuing to see them decline.
And we're here to prevent everything we can. That's our job, is preventative health. And so when we see pockets of disease pop up like they have been, it's very concerning.
Sure. Transitioning to maybe a more positive angle, we talked about National Public Health Week at the beginning of this segment, and it's a time to recognize the workforce.
Right.
So I want to give you a chance to recognize your workforce.
They're wonderful people. I feel very honored, even though it's hard daily. I feel very honored to be able to lead the team that we have. They're established, they are confident, and they care. And we're so lucky to have the people we do at both our locations, well, all of them. They really do care about the community, they care about each other, and they care about who they're taking care of. And to me, that means the world.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. The tagline, "Your health is our mission," really is true, because like yourself and many others at Madison County Health, people have spent years devoted to this and helping the community.
Yes.
So as you enter your second year of being regional director, what are you going to be most focused on?
That's a good question. Probably stay in the course. The pendulum swings in public health, as it does with everything, within political climates, within seasonal changes. But we need to stay the course, and we need to stay confident in what we know, and confident in the fact that we've come a long way. We've done some really good things, and we're going to continue to do some good things, some great things. We may just have to find, additional services. We may have to find different paths to get to the place we want to get to. But we have to stay positive, and we have to keep showing up for everybody, our workers, our community, and I have a great group to do that with.
Absolutely. We want to thank you for being with us and sharing about Public Health Week, and we appreciate all you're doing at Madison County Health.
Thank you.
April is Earth Month, and it's also a key time for community action on the environment, from celebrations around Earth Day to volunteer efforts that make our neighborhoods cleaner, greener, and healthier. One of the largest of those efforts is the Greatest American Cleanup. Today, we're joined by the Assistant Director of Keep Tennessee Beautiful, Pam Willingham, to talk about how this campaign works here at home and why clean, healthy environments matter for everyone. Pam, we're so glad you're with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Ginger. I'm delighted to be here.
A lot going on this month, but before we get into the cleanup campaign, I'd just like to hear a little bit about you. What got you into environmental cleanups and things like this?
Okay, I'm Pam Willingham. I am the Assistant Director of Keep Tennessee Beautiful. And growing up, my mom was an educator, my dad was a truck driver and a Boy Scout leader.
Oh, okay.
And so he came in on a daily basis talking about all the beauty that he had seen throughout the day, all what God had done. And so the earth and the nature and beauty was just a part of our daily conversation and what we need to do to maintain it. So that already kind of built me up to become environmentally aware before I even knew what it was.
Yeah. Well, what a great example of your parents kind
Yes.
of teaching you that.
Yes.
So what has working in this role taught you?
It's taught me actually that in education and inspiration leads to creation of great works to be done in the community. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of, because you got this big initiative coming up, or it's actually kind of already starting, but the Great American Cleanup, for viewers who may not be familiar with that, what does that look like here in Tennessee?
So the Great American Cleanup is an initiative that was started by Keep America Beautiful. And Keep America Beautiful has over 640 affiliates across the United States. And it's really a concerted effort for all of the United States to work together to clean up their communities. And so this year, being the America's 250th birthday, we're doing something more. So we have come together as a team that's Keep America Beautiful, Keep Tennessee Beautiful, and all of the affiliates across the nation. We're coming together to clean up 25 billion pounds of litter between now, it's going on now until July 4th, 2026. So, wow, the birthday, what a birthday gift to America to clean it up.
That's wonderful.
And keep it beautiful.
So how do people get involved? How can they, if they wanted to just start cleaning up, or they need to connect first, or how does that work?
It would be great to just start cleaning up, because it's our mission at Keep Tennessee Beautiful to educate and inspire Tennesseans to take daily care of their environment. Okay, so for this greatest American cleanup, it's wonderful to do it alone, but it's also wonderful to do it as a team, So if they would connect with their local affiliates, like maybe here in the Jackson area, you have Keep Jackson Beautiful. So if someone would call into Keep Jackson Beautiful and say, how can I help? Hey, volunteers are always needed.
Absolutely.
And they can also go to keeptnbeautiful.org and find out how to get involved. They can call their chambers in whatever community they're in. They can call their chambers of commerce and see how they can get involved and help, because we're the volunteer state, so we're always looking for that volunteer, and we show well because we have a great group of Tennesseans that love their land.
You've been doing this for many years, so do you have a good example of a time when a cleanup effort really changed how people saw a community or saw a space?
I was thinking of, we have a tremendous amount of affiliates within the Keep Tennessee Beautiful network. We have over 34 KAB affiliates within Tennessee. We have about 18 state level affiliates. And I want to tell you about Keeping the Valley Beautiful. They're in Unicoi County, over on the far side of Tennessee, but they started with just 2 or 3 interested parties. And, they've recently dealt with flooding but their perseverance, their hard work really has made major differences in their county. They started with 2 or 3, and now they have just several people, hundreds show up at their cleanups, and they are really keeping that beautiful area just totally clean and green. Yeah, they're always working hard with whomever is willing to work with them. Yeah, they persevere.
Well, that's a great example, because a lot of people may be thinking, I'm just one person. How much of a difference could I make?
Yeah, one person, that's the one we need.
Yes.
One always starts the ball to rolling, because as I mentioned with Keeping the Valley Beautiful, there were just 2 or 3 people, but their perseverance and them working hard and saying it can be done. You know, you have people that you can actually reach out to, like I mentioned, the chambers. You have Volunteer Tennessee is another organization. They're always, one person can make a difference because there's always looking for another person. We're always looking for that one person who's going to go back and tell that one person who's going to go in their community and say, hey, yes, we can do this. You know, so one person, that's a great number to start with, because if you care, and if I see you caring, I'm gonna look and say, Ginger, why are you doing this? You know, and you're going to tell me, hey, I care about my community. You know, let's get together and let's walk after dinner and kind of pick up, you know, and do a little something. And that'll just, and other neighbors will see it. Absolutely. You know, so we're winning with that one. One is a great number to start with.
One is all you need.
It's all you need. Yes, and I have some items for you that I want to leave with you so you'll always think of Keep Tennessee Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. May I share?
Sure.
Oh, wonderful. This bag is our little grocery bag. You can throw it in the washing machine, but it keeps us from having to get plastic bags. When you go to the grocery store, use this little grocery bag to put your groceries in. And when you're in your car, okay, snap this around your headrest. Okay, and you know, your little receipts or your coffees or anything that when you're driving along, just stuff your items in there so it won't end up, you know, on the floor, or so you won't kick it out as you get out the car. Put that around your headrest and dump it when you get to your gas station or when you get home. That's
idea.
Wonderful.
Great idea.
Yes. Yeah. And some gloves to keep your hands cute, you know.
Yes. You got to keep your manicure clean.
Yes, keep your manicure. And also, let me show this. Okay, so this is our little litter grabber. So it keeps you, if everybody's not about bending down. So this takes away that excuse with the bending. You can go and in your neighborhood just kind of pick up, and you don't have to worry about your hands getting dirty. You know, we have a lot of ways to win.
I've used one of these before. I love it.
The little litter grabber is wonderful. And lastly, let me just tell you about this book. Okay, Nancy and Sluggo Loves Tennessee. Okay, this book is really a keepsake for people of a certain age. You know about Nancy and Sluggo. Okay, and Guy Gilchrist helped us to create this book. And this book, it goes from Memphis all the way over to Mountain City. And it talks about all of the wonderful attractions across the state. And it has Nancy and Sluggo and their friends riding in a little spaceship, and they're just talking about different ways to keep Tennessee beautiful.
Well, that is so wonderful.
Yeah, we're doing great things, and we are looking for that one or that's 1,000 to be a part to help us.
Well, thank you so much. Pam Willingham from Keep Tennessee Beautiful. We appreciate you being with us. We hope you have a happy Earth Day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we leave, don't forget that if you have questions about public health matters or services offered at Madison County Health, we'd like to hear from you. Send us your questions and we'll get them answered in our Checkup Q&A. That email is 11checkup@westtnpbs.org. We do want to thank our guests, Nolan Lee with JACOA, Shanna Wilbanks with Madison County Health, and Pam Willingham with Keep Tennessee Beautiful. And of course, we want to thank you for being with us on this edition of Channel 11 Checkup. We're glad you joined us, and we'll check in next time.
The program you've been watching was made possible through the generous financial support of West Tennessee PBS viewers like you. Please visit westtnpbs.org and make a donation today so that we can continue to make local programs like this possible. Thank you.